oh my gosh, can we relax? Can we get into this year? Can we actually enjoy it this year? It has been tough already. And I know I warned you guys last year. I said, hey, as you guys jump into the next year, remember that while the calendar changes, our experience as human beings isn't going to change that much. Remember I warned you guys about that? And I was like, listen, even as you go through this, it's not going to feel that different right away. So I promised you guys a couple things we're going to be talking about today. And in light of this week being so challenging, at least for those of us in the States, there I was last week talking about unity and like, let's try hard not to judge other people and not to gossip. I am going to hold with that this week. If you guys want to be unhappy, not that you do, but if you're like, hey, I know how I want to knock myself off my game. Hey, I know how I want to not enjoy today. Let me start judging other people. That is the number one way to make yourself miserable. I know it's a challenging time. There are things to be distracted by, and some of them warrant your attention, right? Some of them are really important. So we don't want that to go away. So one of the things inside of such a crazy beginning to a year, like I said, it was Thursday and then it was Friday and it was a new year, right? But our bodies don't know that. Our experience of our day-to-day tasks don't know that. And while we loved the freshness of last week, we talked about that, right? Like it was like, oh my gosh, we're really feeling fresh. We're really feeling new. And at least for those of us in the States, it seemed to kind of jump back a little bit. We're in it, you guys. We're up for some tough times still. Okay, so when I talk about 2020 as the massive gift that it was, and I view it that way, obviously not the illness, not the death, not the sorrow, though even in sorrow we can learn, right? It's that it gave us an extraordinary opportunity to practice our discipline. It gave us an extraordinary opportunity to practice working inside the invisible, right? When you're doing tasks and you're taking care of things and you're following a protocol without seeing the results, right? But doing it because you know it's the right thing to do. And this was an extraordinary opportunity for us to develop that skill. And that is really, really critical, okay? Because you're going to use that for the rest of your life. And I don't think these harder, challenging times are exactly done, right? We're probably looking another 9 months or so of not quite back to where we were, and also what things aren't going to go back to the way they were. So I want you to be prepared for that. And I don't want you to ignore your dreams while we do this. We talked about that last week, like really getting up and pushing yourself to be excited and involved and loving your business, loving your life, giving yourself the chance that you deserve to be as strong and as productive and as beautiful as you should be. Yeah? And not should like should, but what you know is true for you, right? Like making sure what's going on outside is matched by what's going on inside and vice versa. And that's the should. I mean, like, are you showing up the way you really could be, right? Like that. So motivation literally just means a reason for action. That's it. Like we look at it like, oh, I lack motivation. No, you don't lack motivation. What you lack is a connection to why you wanted to act in the first place. Does that make sense? I'll say that again. So actually, you're not missing motivation. You're missing your connection, your internal connection to why you wanted to take action in the first place. And so for most of us, if you're a heart-centered business owner like me, right? And you're like, oh my God, I love my people. I really want everybody to be doing well. I want to help these women succeed. I want to take you to new heights. I want to push you further than you've ever been before so you can look back down the mountain and go, holy crap, I did it, right? That's my motivation. So if I start looking at me instead, and here I am alone in my office with all the lights on, the camera on, all the stuff, the mic under my shirt, right? I got all the stuff going on. If I get attached to that, or I start looking at that, instead of remembering why I'm taking these actions, why do I have lights set up? Why is there a microphone taped to my chest right now? Why? It sure as heck isn't about this stuff. It's about you. It's about you sorry, I almost cried there. It's about you getting through the next hard step. It's about you blowing your own damn mind. It's about you doing 5 things more today than you thought you could. And it's about you being proud of how you're showing up every day. And if I get disconnected from that, then I don't know what I'm doing, right? And then I can say, I don't know, I've lost my motivation. Let me know if that makes sense, if that's resonating with you guys, because I think it's really important that you understand this is not about you. I mean, it is, right? But when you're in action in your business, or you're in action right now politically, or you're helping people who are less fortunate than you are, or you're working on distributing the vaccine, or you're working on being an advocate for people who don't have a voice, or you're working on taking care of the animals or the environment, or helping people with their health. The list is endless, right? I mean, you guys know how much you do in here. We have people actively working to bring beauty into other people's homes. Do you get that? So if you lose sight of that, I don't know what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Yeah, it's going to turn into a list of tasks. Total BS. You're going to be like, what the hell? I don't want to do that. What the hell's that about? I don't care. That's what motivation actually is. It's you remembering why you started. And it's not just remember your why. Get connected to the woman you saw yourself as you were becoming the best version of yourself. Yeah? This is why I say the future is your best friend. If you feel stuck right now today, God knows you have reason to, right? You're looking out, you're going, this is never going to end. The pandemic's never going to end. Oh my God, there's a new strain, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, is this ever going to end? Are we ever going to have a time where all the kids aren't home and everybody's working from home? And I have so many women, oh my gosh, it cracks me up, you guys. We are all so alike. But there are so many women who call me and go, oh dear God, I'm going to kill my husband. I'm so happy he's home, but oh my God, he needs to go back to work. I hear that so much. It makes me laugh. And then it immediately goes into, and I'm so grateful, right? Because you guys are smart and you know there's actually a lot of good stuff going on. Or people are like, oh my gosh, I just want to travel again, right? So you have a reason to look out and feel stuck. You do. And I will never take that from you, right? You have every right to do that. And so my question to you is going to be like, awesome. So what are you going to do about it? You're going to complain about it? You're going to get nasty about it? You're going to whine about it? Or are you going to become a 5-year-old? Well, what the hell, man? Right? Because you can. You can do all of that. If that's what you choose to do, oh, have at it. Have fun. It won't be fun at all, but go for it. Like, see how that works out for you, right? Like, you could totally do that, you guys. It's a lot. We are up against a lot. You are up against a lot, and I know that. I want you to know I'm completely aware that you're up against a lot right now, and it's okay. And like I said in last week's podcast, you are wiser than you were last year. And you are stronger and more powerful than you even think you are. And I know that because I see it. I have a very unique view of all of you. You guys don't have the unique view of each one of you that I have. And I will tell you, each one of you is so strong. Each one of you is so powerful. And what breaks my heart is I watch you give it away. I watch you, instead of acting on that power by looking to the future and saying, oh my God, I want to help this many people do this. I want to help that many people do that. And getting excited about your dreams again, which are future-based. You don't do that. You pick up your damn weapon of mass distraction and you just give it away. Swipe after nasty comment after nasty comment. And I'm just going to put it really straight to you today, because we don't have much time to waste. Yeah? I think you guys can feel that. You can get lulled into this, oh, it's not always going to be like this. We know that for sure, because the only thing that's constant is change, yeah? So it's not always going to be like this. And my question to you is, when you look back on this time, are you going to be proud of who you were in the face of these challenges? Or are you going to be embarrassed? You're going to be mad at yourself and go, God, I wasted so much time. Are you going to know you did the best you could, even when it was hard? Because you knew you had people like us, people in this group, who were there for you, who were doing the hard stuff with you, shoulder to freaking shoulder. standing next to you during the civil unrest, the social unrest, the pandemic, the insecurities about economies, the physical challenges, the emotional challenges. What do you think life is? You're alive. So all of these things are going to happen. How many of you have had your ass handed to you this year and you got up anyway? How many of you lost someone this year? I did. And you got up anyway. How many of you wanted to throw in the towel and thought, oh dear God, I just want to go to bed for 3 months? Right? Of course you did. Because you're alive during one of the most challenging times human beings will ever have to go through. And you did it. And so my question to you is, as you look to the future, why would you ever think you're not strong enough to handle whatever's next? Why would you ever think that you're not strong enough to become mentally disciplined enough to find that motivation again? I won't buy it. Sorry, I don't buy it. You have it in there, and I know you do, because you're here. You guys, you don't end up watching these things on accident, right? Not everybody gets to watch every single one, right? You don't always hit every single one every single time, right? You're here today listening to this one. You're hearing my voice because you're up to something. And you might have lost sight of exactly what that is. You need time to regroup. Yes, you're correct. And I bet you need a lot less time than you think. If you speak from the heart, you create from the heart, you work your business from the heart, you don't need time. You need to act. I'll give you guys an example. We have Game On Girlfriend Live. It's starting tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. We're so excited. I'm so nervous about the damn technology. Always the technology content we're excited about. But I do want to tell you guys what happened, right? So I had the content all planned out last week, ready to go. We have power on day 1, passion on day 2, and profit on day 3. So we're going to be talking about how to be powerful. How do you be powerful, right? In the face of the world. We're going to talk about how you're passionate and what your passions really are, and how do you know what your best next step is when there's so many ideas and people coming at you all the time, right? And then the third day, we're going to be talking about your relationship to money and profit. Well, that was last week, and that was Monday last week, and then Wednesday happened last week here in the States. Think maybe my conversation about power needed to change? Abso-freaking-lutely. So we tossed out the manual for Monday, and I had to rewrite it because how we need to talk about power has to change now. It's not that we need time. We need action, and we need action from wise women just like you. We need action from women who speak from the heart. We need action from women who've checked in with themselves before they check in with the mob. And I mean that. And that's the Instagram mob, the Facebook mob, the magazine mob, right? And then there's the mobs. That only happens when we lose sight of who we are. That is giving away power. Who are you? What do you stand for? Have you checked in? Have you asked yourself, what am I truly passionate about? Why am I here? Why do I take action every day? What is happening with me? If you do that, you can then go out there and act, and that doesn't take time. It takes a little minute or two of thought, but I'll bet you it's in there faster than you think. But I'm pushing on you right now because it's a common theme. I need to wait and figure it out. No. You need to think. You need to think, and then you need to act. Yeah? We have a sales course coming out in February. We always do heart-centered sales for Valentine's Day, and that's one of the things we talk about in there, is you've got to check in with you and speak from the heart so that you're behaving in the best interest of other people, not yourself. It's pretty cool. And it's about action, not about thought. Yeah? And when you're selling to somebody and they're like, oh, I need to think about it. It's like, do you? Or do you need to make a decision? Got it? Because the decision's where the action is. And I'll just share with you guys quickly, my kids are home from school. Both of them are virtual at the moment. And I was actually teaching to the monthly students when what happened on the 6th started to happen. And I saw my husband kept calling. And I was like, he knows I'm teaching right now. So why is he calling me? I was like, uh-oh. So I called him back. He said, turn on the TV on. And I said, no. No. He told me what was happening. And I said, not right now. I have a couple things I've got to get done. That was so hard for me, you guys. You guys know I'm deeply politically active, and I care so much about our policies and our human beings who step up, our fellow human beings who step up into these roles of leadership inside of those organizations, and how challenging that is. It's not an easy job. And And I could tell it was something that was going to change the course of history. And I said, I'm giving myself 90 minutes before I let that in. And I did. I took care of the students. I made sure certain things got handled. I dealt with my one-on-one clients. I made sure everyone was okay. And then I shared, and only with my older child, not my younger. That's checking in with you. Now, did I stick my head in the sand and pretend? No. But I also made sure my mission, my heart, my people were served first. Yeah, if it had been imminent physical danger, obviously I wouldn't have done that, but that's not the case on that. Does that make sense, you guys? And I always listen, I'm not saying I do everything perfectly, heaven knows I don't, but I always want to give you an example of how I apply what I teach you in daily life so you can see like, oh, I see, just as an option, and I'm not saying I did it right by any stretch, but just as an option to be like, oh my God, I have the right to play with this. I have the right to decide how I'm going to consume this information, right? And if more people actually did that, maybe last Wednesday wouldn't have happened. Because you have the right to check in before you take action. You have the right to check in before you plug into groupthink and the collective unconscious. You have the right to pause. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I don't care what the latest hype is. You have the right to check in with you first. We think we have to sit down. I must plot this out and I must know. No, sit down and start taking action. It's going to be imperfect. God knows it's not going to be perfect the first time you take action. Who cares? It's like I always say to you guys, who do you think is going to be better on video? The person who studies what camera to buy and which light, God, there's so many lights on in here, right? Like which lights to buy, which microphone, all that. Someone who researches all that, or someone who freaking turns their phone around and starts recording. Who do you think is going to get better at that? You can add on the other stuff over time. You're going to get better every single time. But I went live with you guys for 9 months before I had a camera. Yeah? Who cares? You got the content, right? Start taking massive imperfect action and see what happens. Shock yourself. Blow your own damn mind. The next time you guys hear yourself talking about motivation, I don't feel like it today, I want you to turn that around and say, I don't feel like helping other people today. That'll wake you up. I don't feel, that would be, okay, again, I'm just going to do this because you guys are here and you can, right? You know what I do, right? So you guys go, oh, that's what she does, right? So let's say I wake up and I'm like, I'm not doing coffee with Coach. I don't feel like it. What I'm actually saying is, I'm going to put my own self-interest above everybody that I could help today. Well, that'll stop that behavior but quick, yeah? Can you see that? Yeah, I'm not going to write that post today. I'm not going to share today. I'm going to put my own best interest above anybody that could be served by what I do. You know, I have a one-on-one client I'm working with right now who's a stylist, and one of the things she struggles with, and I want you guys to all pull this to yourselves, okay, is this idea that people think that what I do is frivolous. That's like an ongoing, like what I do doesn't matter. When what actually happens is when people feel better, they do better. And when you get connected to that, all of a sudden, I don't care what your job is. If you make someone else feel better, if you do their makeup, if you do their nails, if you help them dress better, if you put them in a better mood, if you help them create their goals with more clarity, if you help them stand up for themselves clearly, if you help them sell better, if you put a smile on their face, you are adding value to the world around you. Do you get that? It's literally that simple. And the moments when our egos decide to jump in and take over and put our own self-interest, our own immediate, I call them adult tantrums, right? When we decide to put that ahead of all the people we could help and serve, it serves no one. And in fact, it damages our own listening of ourselves. Do you guys know what I mean by that? Like the next time you say, I'm gonna go do X, Y, Z, there's that little voice that goes, no, you're not. You never do what you say you're gonna do. You know what I'm talking, you know that nasty sucker that comes in and goes, it's not gonna be successful. I don't know why you're even trying. You keep saying you're going to, you don't do it. You say you're giving yourself reason to do that again later and put it off again. See, I told you suck. So you want to watch out for that so that you pull that out of your way so you can keep moving forward. Now, the voice will probably still be there because it always will be. But now you have the voice on this side and you have all the evidence of every single time you got up and did the hard thing anyway. Every single time you felt sick, maybe you had the sniffles, maybe you had a headache, maybe your joints hurt. I go through that a lot, right? Like whatever it is over here, and you got up and you did it. Maybe your husband was in a bad mood. Maybe you had a fight. Maybe someone left you a nasty comment on social media. You got up and you did it anyway. You're exhausted from the pandemic. You're exhausted from the traumas that have happened throughout our society, especially in the States, over this entire year. You got up and you did it anyway. Your last client got mad at you. That deal didn't go through the way you thought. Your Facebook ad campaign didn't work as well as you wanted it to, so you have to keep redoing it over and over and over. You got up and you did it anyway. So now when the nasties hit, you have all the evidence over here of how much stronger you are, of how much bigger you are, how much wiser you are than all that nonsense noise. Does that make sense? So you couple all that evidence of every single time you got up and did it anyway, every single time you took the next step, every single time you brought more clarity because you did more actions, right? Every single time. You have all of that on top of getting connected to why you're acting in the first place. Can you see that when you marry those two things, you are unfreaking stoppable? Can you get that? Like, can you feel the truth of that? But you've got to give yourself the permission and the space to do that. Check in with you. Take the next best action. When the nasty voice starts, look at the evidence. And then take the next step. And then take the next step. And then take the next steps. And all of a sudden you're like, holy crap, I did it. Yeah? Does that make sense? Because it's easy to quit right now. And I don't want you to. It's easy right around. This is why I'm hosting Game On Girlfriend Live this week. Because I know what happens the second week of January. Everyone gets the fuckets, right? That's what I lovingly call it. What is that? The asterisk, right? CKITS. The fuckets. That's what you get the second week of January. You're like, I don't care. F it, F it, F it. Right? No, not you. If you're hearing my voice, if you have registered for Game On Girlfriend Live, that is not you. You are not going to do that this year. You're going to blow your own damn mind with everything you're capable of doing. And you are going to become the success story you've always wanted to be. And that is not going to happen by looking at other people's Instagram feeds. That is not going to happen by chasing every single trend that comes your way. And that is not going to happen because you buy one more course, one more thing, one more. It's not. That is not where it is. It's in here and it's in action. Yeah? Doesn't mean other things can't support you along the way. And I hope Coffee with Coach is one of them. But you've got what it takes. And I don't want you to give that power away anymore. Yeah? And then the next thing I just want to let you guys know. All of the Game On Girlfriend members, those of you who are in the membership, you will be with us on Zoom live, all through Game On Girlfriend Live, so you will be there with us. For those of you who are not members, it is free. You're still in. You can come right here to Game On Girlfriend Insider and watch it. We will be streaming live into this group. We'll also be streaming live onto Sarah Walton, the public page. Okay, so that's where you can go if you want to share it, if you want to tag people that you think should be listening to what we're talking about, if you want to tag people who should be listening to our guest speakers, if you want to let other people know what we're doing at Game On Girlfriend Live, you can go right to our public page. That's me with the pink shirt, and you can share it everywhere. You can post it everywhere. We want to help as many people as we can. That is the point of this conference. And if you want to have a conversation where you know who's in the conversation, you can come in here on Game On Girlfriend Insider. We'll be streaming the exact same thing into this group. So if you want to have a little bit of a tighter conversation and feel like you're with your people, right? Not just strangers or whatever, you want to post something a little bit more private, you can come into this group and do it because the conference will be live inside this group as well. All right, ladies, keep your eyes out for some more specific emails coming out today and tomorrow to keep you posted about Game On Girlfriend Live. We are super excited and so super nervous about the technology, so please bear with us. I am my own technical AV support during all this because of COVID, so God bless and be patient. Okay, I love you guys.